out here in nature. Well, I guess it's nature. It's natural. I'm in a park. So I guess if I was really in nature, I wouldn't see any cars or houses or buildings. But in any case, I'm as close to nature as you can get. There's birds, there's a lot of trees, there's squirrels, and probably a lot of other things that I can't even see. But just before making this video, I was speaking with God, you know, being thankful and grateful, as I always am, usually, and just giving credit to all of his magnificent work. These beautiful white clouds, the blue sky. I was thinking in my mind the sky could have been any color, even though it changes at times. You know, a nice reddish orange, sunsets and, you know, sun up, sunrise, you know, beautiful colors. We probably saw every color that we can see in regards to the sky, but typically, you know, the main color is blue, right? Could have been white, like totally pure white. That wouldn't have any, I don't know, it wouldn't have any contrast against the clouds. As a matter of fact, you wouldn't even see the clouds. Sometimes there's gray skies. Makes you appreciate when the sun comes out again. But even gray skies has its purpose, right? Netflix, you know, hanging with the family, reading, watching a movie, you know. Gray skies has a reflection. Gray skies has its purpose too. Definitely not a red sky, like a red sky. I think it would affect our moods, right? We'd be angry, walking around like, even though we would be accustomed to it typically, you know, being born into a red sky, that's all we would know. But God really picked the nice, tranquil blue color. Now there's scientific reasons that they can come up as to why, you know, the sky is blue, but it doesn't matter. There has to be a reason behind the reason. And I choose to give that reason a name, and that name is God. So with all this thinking and appreciation and complimenting, I said to myself, even though God acknowledges that, why would I need to still align myself with any man organization? I'm doing what, I hate to say the word need, because, you know, God doesn't need me to give compliments or acknowledgement, but it's like any human, you know, those that really don't need compliments to tell us that we have a nice shirt or a headband, but it feels good, right? And God shouldn't be any different. But I said to myself, if I'm doing that, and I'm speaking to people like yourself, and I'm posting these videos up, and people acknowledge what I'm saying, and they agree with what I'm saying, and they are like-minded thinkers and giving God appreciation, what do I need to be aligned with an organization for? If I chose to, then yeah, it's like, hey, you have an organization of like-minded thinkers, by all means. But when the organization starts manipulating the people and manipulating scriptures to coincide with their demented intentions and thinking, then that should be a choice. And I don't think God would hold that choice against me to say, hey God, I don't want to be associated with that. You know, it's like, you don't have to. You don't have to. It's almost like a son or a daughter speaking to their parents. But I hire a mediator. It's like, you can't come to me unless you go through the mediator. But Dad, I'm right in front of your face. Or Mom, I'm right here. Nope. You know the routine. I can hear you. You can talk all you want. But you have to basically repeat what you said to me personally, to my face. Still go through the mediator and reiterate that with them, right? And then they'll speak on my behalf, okay? And even, you know, even though I can tell you things directly and I can show you, because I've basically written things on your heart, the moral compass that you should have, still go through my mediator. They'll let you know what I'm actually saying. But Mom, but Dad, you're telling me right now what you're saying. Go through the mediator. I don't want to have to repeat myself, right? They can break down what I really mean. So wait a minute, Dad. What you're saying to me right now is not what you really mean? Yeah, but they can really show you what I mean. They can tell you what I mean. But you're telling me, shut up. Shut your mouth and go through the mediator like I told you. It just doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. Now, you get some people that they are really not capable of deciphering things, right? We all know those people. The same people that think those obvious pranks that they have going around on social media are not, what do you call it? They're not, what's the word that I'm looking for? They're not staged, right? I see right through it. I'm like, that's staged. That's not real. They wouldn't act like that. Nope, no, fake. But then you read the comments and you got people that are saying, wow, I know he's mad. I know she's mad. And I'm like, wait. You actually believe that? You believe that that prank was real? You can't see through the stageness, the fakeness? You can't see through that? You know? So if you got millions of people in the Jehovah Witness organization that have that mindset and they can easily be tricked and manipulated, then they need someone to decipher certain things for them, right? And unfortunately, they're choosing the wrong people. So to be honest with you, I pity those people. I really do. Because the organization is full of them, and you know what I'm talking about without really putting people down. And I even get people on some of my other social media platforms, or even this platform, YouTube, where, you know, you say something or you're being facetious or sarcastic and someone will write you and say, well, and you're like, I was being sarcastic. I was being facetious. I was being a smart ass. You couldn't see through that? And then I realize those are the people that they count on. Those people. They count on those people. And then you get the ones that are too smart for their own good. These people are actually intellectuals. And there's some that I know personally, right? They are thinkers, right? But they are so much of a thinker that they think their way into the organization, if you understand what I'm saying, right? They think so deep and so hard until they make something wrong right in their minds, right? They're really intellectuals. They're really deep thinkers, but they actually think so hard that they make a wrong right. Right? And it's like, why don't you just, think along the surface? You ain't got to dig so deep. Because if you dig deep enough, you're going to find some right in this wrong organization. And, you know, you get those. And then, obviously, you get a mixture of the two. And then some, you know, probably first and foremost, you get, you know, fear-mongering. You know, this is going to happen and it's going to be too late for you. And you're going to be damned to death forever and ever, and you won't see your family, and you're blood guilty, and you're never doing enough. I never understood. Every time I get a glimpse of certain things with this organization, it's like you never are doing enough. It's never enough. It's like, don't get too comfortable. It's almost like your boss, your employer, whatever, your supervisor. It's like, great job, but there's always a but after, right? They don't want you to get too high on your horse, so to speak. They definitely don't want you asking for a raise. So they got to build you up, but then knock you down a few notches. And that's what this organization does, and people can't even read into it. It's like, just leave it. Wonderful job, brothers and sisters. Wonderful. Okay, next. No, they'll never do that. Wonderful job, but don't get too ahead of yourself, because... And then they start unleashing hell on you, literally, right? You don't want to do this, you don't want to do... It's like, why couldn't you just leave it? Say your hair is nice and that's it. Not, wow, I like your hair. Yep. If you would just cut it like a little bit more, it's like you just took away the compliment at this point, right? As a matter of fact, I'm thinking that you set up the compliment just to tell me how wrong, you know, it is, you know. So, and that's what they do. And, you know, obviously there's people waking up. So it's not all loss. You know, people are waking up every day. They're not coming on here and telling you, you know. It's just like people die every day. And people are born every day. You're not at every death. You don't hear about the... I think statistics show that about 100,000 people die a day, and I think almost the same amount are born every day. You don't see all that. You don't see all weddings, funerals. You don't see, you know, births. You don't see people right at this moment right now getting chased by a tiger, right, in the wild. It's happening. Somebody's getting stomped out by an elephant right now, somewhere in the world, in India or Africa, right? There's somebody that's fallen out of a tree right now. We don't see it. As a matter of fact, I can't even think the last time. I can't recall the last time I saw somebody fall out of a high tree. Except when it was me, or my brother, actually. It was my brother. You know, the one with the backroom channel? Click the link in this description and you can go see his videos. But yeah, we were in Florida and he decided to climb to the top of a tree. And for whatever reason, he fell. I mean, it had to be equivalent to about 2-3 stories, you know. And he had to go to the hospital. So it was a pretty high fall for a 7-year-old. But yeah, I can't think of that. But it happens. Things are happening right now, right? I mean, just think of the weirdest thing. I don't know. Somebody's jumping off the side of a mountain right now on one of those hang glides somewhere in the world. But when's the last time you actually saw it? And the same with people leaving this organization, right? It's happening constantly. They're not going to tell you that, and you don't see these people. You're not going to meet them. People are not going to say, hey, just want to let everybody know I left, you know, like with a sign. It's not happening, but it's happening, right? So rest assured that we don't see it just because it's not in our immediate circle. It's happening. So yeah, it's just damaging. D.L. Hughley, the comedian / activist, actor, comedian, you know, D.L. Hughley. If you recall that name, if you don't, look it up on his Instagram. I saw that he put up, I guess, a meme or something saying that, you know, it's so hot outside. You know, that's why you haven't seen the Jehovah Witnesses in about a year because of the heat. you know. And then I read the comments, and there's thousands of comments, and you had like a lot of Jehovah Witnesses, you know, responding, you know, no, it's because of COVID. We like to, and number one, the first thing I'm thinking is like, why are you guys following D.L. Hughley? He's very political. He's very, you know, he can be very brash when it comes to, you know, certain topics. I like him, you know, but for a Jehovah Witness, like, you know, what are you actively pursuing, you know, his posts for? And then making comments underneath. Y'all gonna get in trouble for that. I mean, I saw hundreds and hundreds of comments. I didn't even go through them all. And they're responding, and I guess they're justifying it because I saw a lot of them saying, hey, go to jw.org and learn about our organization. So they're like, but I'm like, no. What are you doing on there in the first place? It's like being on a porn site going like, hey guys, clean up your acts, you know, go to jw.org and, you know, you can stop this immorality it's you know, this you know, whatever it is that you're doing in the porn world. It's like, no, what are you doing there in the first place? You know, so you can always justify, and that's what they love to do. They love to justify, you know. But I'm gonna leave that here. You know what I ask you to do, as always in every video: think. It's an easy thing to do for most of us, not all of us, but most of us. Just think, and it's love.